Hello, friends. Welcome to Go 1200 podcast again. Today, here again, I'm Henry. We have Xiaoqing and that's Daniel.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, hello. And that's Yiqian somewhere around us.
Somewhere out
Somewhere
there.
around.
Omnipotent, 以前
Ever present. Yeah, so today's topic, right? Xiaoqing brought up a news. It mentioned something like a luxury sector undaunted by COVID, soaring inflation. Basically, it means that the luxury sector is not affected by COVID as well as the inflation environment.
Right.
Yeah, so some of the brands, they continue to increase price. So let's discuss a bit into this luxury sector, shall we?
Wow, but what if I don't buy luxury goods, then I can step out of this podcast right now?
Can I ask Yiqian to come in?
Oh yeah, 以前
She's a lover of luxury. isn't she?
luxury goods.
Could be an expert.
She just told me she can't wait to get YSL shoes in all different colors.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my tears.
By the way, she's doing this.
Okay, so like you have to talk about it.
No problem.
Okay, so some views lah. Luxury goods lah. Okay, what else?
Okay, let me kick off the topic first because I came from the luxury industry.
Oh.
So my past life before becoming a financial planner, I was actually working in the luxury industry.
I see.
It was a very glamorous industry whereby everywhere we were looking at like new brands from France, and then we were really enjoying that luxury world. It's a very glamorous industry, and it's true that it is quite price resilient because the clients that we are talking about, they are the well-to-do. So in fact, the well-to-do, if you talk to them about inflation, who cares about inflation? They have more than enough to be hedging against inflation. Indeed, those are the people that don't really need to do much financial planning because they have a wealth that can last them through a few generations. And that's why when you talk about luxury goods, which is price resilient over COVID, it's not surprising at all. In fact, they have this ability to be increasing price by like 12% over a year. I think in the article that I just read, it says that Rolex, they have been trying to keep prices the same for last 2 years. And then this year it came up for 3% to 12%. And other brands like Gucci, LV, prices all went up, Hermes as well. Really because they are not able to have sufficient supply to be matching all this demand coming from the wealthy. Yeah. So in fact, if you ask me, it is not surprising. And if you ask me whether I want to be in that position, of course, if I have more than enough money to be spending that lasts me for more than a few generations, why do I even need to care about inflation? Yeah. Then the question is, some of our friends and clients, they'll be like telling me, hey, look at the increase in the luxury goods. I told you it's a good investment. That's the question that I always ask myself. Is it really a good investment? Or is it just something that the not so well to do, but the want to have if you want to have this luxury, that they are just using it as an excuse for them to be buying luxury. Yeah, that's always my my ponder.
Okay, so did it really increase in price? Like what kind of products that they buy and then they tell you that increase in price?
Oh, their bags,
Watches,
Bags and
especially.
Shoes,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
After you
bags
want
are
them,
fast
I don't know whether they can still increase in price or not.
But even bags, I have a few in my cabinet, and then after a period of time, they are just not the same as they used to be. Yeah, so to me, I feel it's just a reason and an excuse for them to be buying that luxury bag. Do you agree, Qian? Do you agree?
Okay, so what about the news? Why?
On luxury goods, I think the strong thing about luxury goods is the way that they market. What's that, 以前? Car?
Is cars considered luxury?
Cars depends on which category. Cat A and open cat will be luxury goods. But anyway, there'll be a wealth tax on that anyway.
Oh, that's true.
But that's a separate topic.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look
So-
at sorry, you continue first.
Never mind, you can. Yeah.
No, I mean, if you look at price alone, right, compared to other countries, people will say that it's a luxury. But if you look at Singaporeans, right, when they want to buy a car, right, they won't think of it as a luxury.
Yeah.
Right, because of all the convenience or the joy of owning one.
Yeah.
So they will compare it from, let's say, a entry-level Toyota to a high-level Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
And then they'll say Rolls-Royce is a luxury, my Toyota is not a luxury.
Yeah. Yeah.
The truth is the difference between a Japanese car and continental car is not that much of a difference now with the crazy COE prices at the moment. So it does make sense. Some of them, if they have a family, they are looking at safety, they might even consider Continental car. And that's indeed the kind of planning that we do for our client. So the question that I always ask myself is, am I at that position whereby I can totally ignore inflation, like the well-to-do, like even if LV prices double, triple, and they will still be able to buy it? I think the answer to me and majority of my clients is that we can't. We don't have a wealth that can last through a few generations.
Yeah. And going back to the luxury goods, right? I think there's this Chinese saying called 物以稀为贵. So when things are in scarcity, they are able to jack up the price because it's scarce. Correct? So when you look at those luxury brands, where are they placed? Are they placed under the HDBs?
Nope.
No, right? They are placed in Takashimaya, Ions, all these high-end malls. And they can command a high price because they have a limit on every day or maybe every hour how many people can go inside the shop. So once they reach the limit, they'll close the door and then they'll form a queue outside of this. So they create this kind of feeling that, oh, in order to come in, you must be a certain level, and these are all limited editions, etc. And people do chase for it. So when things are easily available, they can't raise the price. And because of the way that they market these luxury goods, they are able to raise the price. And the more they raise the price, people feel that, oh, this is very scarce, it's hard to achieve, and therefore I want to go and achieve it. So it becomes, you can either say it's a virtuous cycle or a vicious cycle. Virtuous cycle depending on the merchants. It's a virtuous cycle for merchants because they make more money. But for the consumers who cannot afford it, it becomes a vicious cycle. Yeah.
It becomes a material gain because in the past when I was in that industry, everybody carries at least a branded bag, they wear branded shoes. If I don't do that, I become the weird one out. But once you start going to that cycle, right, you will literally be like, every time you buy a bag, you could like get really excited because you finally get that Chanel bag that you have been saving up for the past many years. But once you have that bag with you, after a few months, you start to see as just something that
normal.
Yeah,
very normal.
That feeling like dies off quite easy.
Just like
if
iPhone
you
12.
it's just like if you marry a very pretty wife, but when the wife you see every day without makeup, then that wife, once you own it, you start to look at other pretty ladies.
This
right?
one I dare not agree. Later my wife see the podcast, then you know.
I never own my wife.
This part only Xiaoqing can say on behalf of the wives. Husband, we better keep quiet and sit.
Very smart. That's why I can totally understand Daniel when he say, "Oh, so if I don't buy luxury good, I should step out this podcast," because we really don't want to get into that cycle of like greed and wanting one bag after another, one luxury after another. Because I always like this saying from Henry that says, "Luxury once enjoyed becomes a necessity." Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Once enjoyed becomes a necessity. So with that, any advice?
My
For
advice
people
is, okay, I was
watching
watching
our
this
podcast
video
today.
this morning. So this speaker was asking the audience, how many of you drive a BMW or Mercedes? And so they answered, yeah, I drive a BMW. So he asked him, how come you drive a BMW? So he says, oh, I like the drive, I like the feeling of it. And then the speaker asked him, do you like the feeling of driving on it? Or do you like the feeling of how other people look at you when you drive a BMW? So he said, I'm not saying that you have this feeling that, like people to look at you, but you have to think about it. Is it really that you like the drive, or do you like how people perceive you? So going back to luxury goods, right? I think most people buy luxury goods not only because they like it, not only because they like the Rolex or AP or whichever watch. That is definitely, it's handcrafted, right? So it's good. But is it because we are more wary of how others perceive us? That's why we buy this so-called luxury good. So at the end of the day, I think it's about going back to your planning. If let's say you have surpluses and ample surpluses, why not enjoy? But if let's say you are using installment plan to pay for all these luxury goods, then I think something could be quite wrong.
Right. Yeah. And for me, instead of enjoying luxury, enjoy the ability to spend. Not just spending on luxury. The ability to spend, that means I have this ability to spend, but I choose not to. So I think that's a lot more powerful than to enjoy spending on luxury, whereby at the end of the day, we lie to ourselves that, oh yeah, it's an investment, etc. But how fast is that investment return when it comes to luxury goods? I have my doubts because I don't know the cost of goods, of luxury goods since I came from the industry. And to me, coming from the industry, I definitely wouldn't want to overspend on that. At the expense of my financial future.
The last point I want to add on is on investing on luxury goods. What Xiao Qing mentioned is about some people say you can invest in luxury goods. To me, investing, you need to consider this factor called safety margin. Right? So if Rolexes have gone from, let's say Submarina has gone from 7K to 15K, for example, is there a safety margin for you to invest into this Rolex watch at this point in time? If not, then could you consider other forms of investments? Because it's really risen so much. Can it rise double again? I'm not very sure. Yeah, but if you put your money into stocks and shares currently, maybe you can. Yeah, so it's about safety margin.
Sure. Thanks both of you for sharing. So in conclusion, basically we can still enjoy luxury, but then do it within your means, right?
Yeah.
Right, still enjoying your financial planning at the same time. So I think end of the day is also about the ratio of spending. Right, your friends and yourself may be spending on the same goods, same luxury goods. But let's say you're earning 100,000 a month and then your friend is earning 5,000 a month. You're buying a Rolex. Your friend see you wearing a Rolex, he also wants a Rolex. But but when she看久一点 zoom in 等下跟他 zoom in 一下Yeah, but the ratio of the spending, right, is very, very different.
Yeah.
Right, and most of the time among friends, we don't really discuss about our incomes. So I think end of the day, it still really come back to your own goals and what you can achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 有样学样，结果不一样。
Steady. So I think that concludes the podcast for today. And thank you very much. I hope you like our sharing today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends if it resonates with you. And if you want any financial planning advice, feel free to look for us. Until the next episode, have a good day and see you soon.
See you.
Bye-bye.